Yeah.
We're all audible. Cool.
Yeah. And we even got this is gonna be a special episode because May came downstairs. So yeah, May the dog.
Yeah.
May's in the building.
The Puerto Rican rescue.
The pest herself, John Leguizamo is in here.
Oh God.
What's up, cousin?
All right. We are here.
We out.
This is Negro Jump.
Yeah, go ahead and wave. You can wave. It's fine. Introduce yourself to the world.
This
How you
is-
doing?
I introduce myself?
No.
We will. No, I'm trying to get more professional.
We're trying to
get more professional. This
unsuccessfully, but we're
this
getting
is
there.
Negro. This
We're
is
getting
Negro
there.
Jump, and today we have Non Kuramoto.
Non in the
That's
building.
me.
Kuramoto.
I am in the building.
You Drod was saying earlier that you made it all the way through deep Brooklyn.
Yeah, I always forget to
that-
tell people like, yeah, I live almost in Queens, but yeah, the place is not. Actually, I only want to speak up because I don't want new people to move here. So
exactly. Yeah.
No,
it's
it's
very
chill.
rich. It's very rich. We're paying thousands of dollars.
Thousands. The bodegas are ridiculous. The prices are just stupid.
It's bodega / yoga studio.
$10 credit card minimum is terrible. It's awful.
But no, you survived the hood.
Yeah.
Is what we're trying to say.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was good.
with the
No, pumped here. We were talking earlier before we were testing about. You say that you don't watch a ton of TV, but we will find.
Yeah. Well, I do now.
You do now.
I didn't. I mean, I think I watch still like below average amount of TV. I try really hard, but as a child, I watched very little TV.
Why is that?
Why?
Yeah.
It wasn't like we didn't have like a TV watching culture in my house. I think.
Okay.
It wasn't like, sometimes I'll go to my friend's house and like the TV is just on, and like that wasn't a thing at my home. We had like. We had to turn it on if we wanted to see it.
Right?
I was busy. Yeah, I was a busy
Okay.
child.
Yeah.
So television wasn't.
a bunch of
So what was like a family activity? Yeah.
Because you're originally from where in Japan?
I'm from Japan. My family lives in Tokyo, but my like grandparents all live in Osaka.
Okay.
So I spent like a lot of time in both. So I always identify as being from both Tokyo and Osaka.
Is that a big thing over there? Well, it's just like, are you from Tokyo? You're from Osaka.
Yeah. Is it is it a boroughs thing?
Yeah.
It kind of is. Well, so like Tokyo and Osaka are very like it's like if you're from like the West Coast or the East Coast, like that kind of vibe.
All right.
For sure.
Well, they're
Like gang fights and shit?
But it's like
I'm thinking some Yakuza.
Set tripping
well, like even in because like Osaka is a very big comedy like area.
Really?
Like a lot of comedians are from Osaka. It's like one of those people from Osaka are funny. That's like a very
so
big,
Osaka's West Coast
like stereotype. They're very vibey.
Yeah.
They're very friendly, and like there's like a stereotype where it's like an Osakan person will never like say anything that doesn't have a punchline. Like that's like it's like huge.
So what you saying?
Fucking
They stay in the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Osaka
They
people
stay
stay in the
running bits.
bit. Like
Yeah.
there was a phase where like people would test if someone was like a real Osakan, because like if you like point a banana at an Osakan person, they will act like they just got shot. Whereas like
kabuki theaters.
whereas like other like people from other regions
Yo.
would be like, why are you
Yo.
pointing a banana at me? Like Osaka, very bitty area. But then like Tokyo is like the major city. It's like
Because
Yeah.
they're like
New
they're the
York,
New
it's the
York of
Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah.
So like obviously there's like media and like entertainment happening there too. So there were like like who's the best like comedian in Osaka and who's the best comedian in Tokyo, and like they would have beef, because it's like the Osakan style versus the Tokyo style.
That's
That's
that's gotta
really
be
hot, yeah.
that's gotta be interesting, especially since for mostly when in comedy here in America, it's kind of a community. Like there's little micro beefs here and there, but is that a big thing for you guys? Like honor wise, or just like, nah, this person sucks, or they're not that funny, or
I think like it was much more intense like in past generations. Like, you know, like young, and even here, younger people are more like chill.
Yeah, I can see that.
They're more accepting, or they don't care about divides, and it's probably because, you know, media has become so much more generalized.
Yeah,
and,
it's like
so many things are more accessible.
Everybody can do it. It's access for everybody.
Exactly.
Just do
so
it.
then
you
it's
find
like
your people you mess with, and then
there are Tokyo people who like Osakan comedians.
Okay.
Like Osakan people who, but then it's like there are, you know, people who are like, no, Osakans are the funniest people.
Wow.
You know, so it's a thing. But then like Tokyo people are like, Osakans are too vulgar. We don't like. So
I'm going to Japan, man.
We got a set trip out there.
I'm going. With
yeah,
a
I gotta do
suitcase
the
full of
special
plantains.
episode.
Bunch of big ass bananas. That's great. That's wild.
Yeah.
Damn,
So-
dog.
That's funny. Did that inspire, like that whole banana, did that inspire Mario at all? Or like the way that, because that seems to be like a common trope, like Donkey Kong and the bananas and the whole thing. Or is that just
I think that's like,
That might be
you
a
know,
worldwide
yeah,
thing.
like slipping on a banana is just a hilarious idea.
yeah.
Yeah. but really just
Have you
hearing
ever
that,
seen someone actually slip on a banana?
I
saw a video once,
I
but
wanted to
not-
try to
yeah.
make myself do it. I'm like, can I do it? Like Appeal just having to be like on the street. I was like, how slick is it? Yeah. Can I bust my ass right now?
Yeah.
And of course it never happened because I'm trying to do it. But
Yeah.
then,
Yeah, it's like
Somebody
one of
said
those-
you gotta wait till it's like actually starting to rot. Apparently, when it's like really, when it gets really.
I think
slippery.
all banana peels are pretty slippery.
Yeah.
yeah, you can. I told you this before. I had an all black player of Air Force Ones. They got dirty, and I had this like steam gun cleaner my grandmother had, and I like hit it with it, and the shit faded it. And I thought it was done because like those was like my newest pair of shoes I had, and then I seen some shit on like TLC or something like that. It was like you take a banana peel and you can like buff your shoes. So I was just doing that shit at lunch. Yeah. I just bust open that banana. Hell yeah, it worked. My shit's looking clean as hell.
Fuck yeah, that's
My
awesome.
leather Air Force Ones was looking like patent leather by like period 5.
And you're like, it's that good banana.
It's the
Yeah.
tactical fruit. It can do damn near anything. You could,
Oh my god.
you could fake stick
Oh my
somebody
God.
up. You
Versatile.
could-
It could start racial tension. It could. Come on, man. Bananas are forever. Bananas are forever.
Potassium team.
Yeah, man.
Team potassium.
Potassium.
all day.
All right. Nine, of course, the main reason I brought you up here because we talked about this multiple times before. We had a couple good conversations. Just speaking on how black nerds are tripping out here a little bit. They it's we
Yeah.
that when we were at we were in Lower East Side and that dude he just
I don't
popped
even
up out
know
of
who
nowhere.
that- Yeah.
Yeah, just some random dude. We just talking about whatever. I think I might have mentioned anime. Of course,
No.
I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Something, and then he stopped dead in his tracks, turned around, and it was like, "Hey, what does?" He just said some Japanese word. He said, "What does that mean?" And then she just translated it for him and just gave him the weirdest look. And he was just like, "Yes."
You're just like human Google Home.
Yeah, it was so.
No, it felt like, you know, I was one of those scavenger hunt like tasks where it's like
Find
a
three
Japanese
people that don't like pizza. Like, find a Japanese woman in New York.
Yeah, it felt like it because he like I saw him like lock on to like a presence like on the sidewalk from feet away. Yeah, I like felt it, and I was like, no. And you know, I thought I was safe because I was surrounded by all these comics.
No.
Then I was like, you know, I
I'm
have
crying.
like a barrier
I'm crying
of
right
like
now.
8
Oh
men
my god.
He sensed the power level. He was like, yo.
around me, so I'm gonna be fine. So I like ignored him and just like was really focused on like just staying within this like circle.
Yeah.
And he just broke through and was like,
he found that opening. He went for it.
Yeah.
and he was like, "Hello, found my Japanese woman."
She's like, "You have 3 wishes."
Is that what people are telling people, that Japanese women can grant 3 wishes?
What is your first wish?
No wonder people be trying to talk to me all the time.
No,
I'm like,
all
why are you
powerful
talking
Shinran.
to me? So many people talk to me.
There is a reason. There is a reason behind it. But yeah, specifically.
Mostly men.
Mostly men.
I'll put it there.
Black men though, right?
White too.
White too.
All black, brown, white. Very few Asian men.
They're like, we know what the fuck.
We
what's
know.
going on.
We know what's going on.
We know. What's up, sis? You know, it's just like, or whatever y'all thing is. I don't know what y'all.
No, yeah, Asian men do not talk
That
to
is
me.
hilarious. That is, oh my God. Yeah,
But no, we've
but-
talked about this before.
I had to tell
how we
her.
randomly can just approach.
Yeah.
Well, we did it at Oak City Festival this year.
Oh no, I just happened to be talking to that guy because he's a photographer. But then I was the night previously, so I forgot his name, and I'm mad I forgot his name. But he's a comic too. But he just happened to be taking pictures. I was just chit chatting with him. I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like black dudes will run up on an Asian guy just to talk to him just because it's cool. And he was so confused. He didn't know what I was talking about. Next day we have a cookout, and Cordero compliments him on his shirt, which is like it was like a dragon or some shit.
It was a tiger. It was like it was like a tiger, sort of like that traditional, like almost like kabuki style.
It was like that watercolor paint.
Watercolor paint. Yeah,
it was like that, and he just started a conversation with him. So it was not actually like that.
And then I felt like a light switched on because then Ishmael shows up. And then you show up, and then somewhere along the line, Yu Hakusho came up.
Of course.
And then he's just stuck in the middle of 3 niggas just trying to out black nerd each other.
Oh my gosh.
That was something that I didn't realize until I moved to New York.
Oh man.
No.
You don't see all these young black kids looking like anime characters doing the Naruto run?
I didn't no, okay, because I grew up in like Seattle and the Bay Area, so it was like all white people. So then I was like, wow, white people really love anime.
Ooh.
And they do.
But
I moved to New York and like that situation kept happening.
Let them know.
Let
them know.
Roll call.
Let them know.
I was so shocked by the number of black people who like would come up to me and also talk about anime.
Hey dog, we've been supporting Dragon Ball Z forever. Akira still got a job because of us.
We got the foundation.
But
there's interesting crossover though. We've seen it, especially with you guys' fashion.
Yeah.
We were standing out in front of. Well, we were out in front of Kith the other day.
Yeah.
And we just realized it's like Asian people are swagged the fuck up
all the time.
Like all the time.
All the time.
Like outfits on point. They're
all
always sitting there like. I mean, look, you try to coordinate it with everything. I was like, oh, that's black shit. Like walking out knowing you look on
definitely
10.
relate to it. Was just like I put thought into my outfit. Was like I don't need your compliment. I know I look good.
Yeah.
It's like is that
enjoy this ice cream swirl.
But it's I don't know. It's dope. I definitely had to tell you. I was just like, look, I had to when I first got here, I had to chill out.
It was our first conversation.
I was like, I had to chill out because when I first seen you, I was just like, this is dope, but dry. Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck it up.
There's a level.
Relax.
When my eyes glaze over and One Piece starts getting on the mind, my man can go off.
Yeah, the first time we talked about One Piece.
Because she was talking to Charlie. It wasn't me. It was Charlie. She just happened to be talking about it. I was like, I can talk about this. And so even then, I just shut the fuck up. I shut the fuck up. And then it was cool, it was dope. It was I think I just happened to be we were talking about anime again, and you just happened to be standing there, and then I mentioned Hijami no Ippo. And then you just like, oh, that's old school. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
man.
that's the
I
thing.
got the cosign. Hell yeah.
Pulls out his pocket, starts checking off that checklist. Like,
hell yeah.
Approval from Japanese woman.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, look, we are your white people. Like
that's true.
The way oh damn, I'm scratching out my phone. The way white people are to black people about hip hop, that's the way black people are to like Japanese people with like anime and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that and pretty much most Asian culture,
Yeah.
whether it be anime, kung fu movies. We used to say our grandmothers used to have, and like grandparents used to have the stuff in the house.
They
So
would
we
like
always
decorate
had,
the house.
Yeah, so we had
Mhm.
the like the weird pictures and the Fabergé eggs with all the
Yeah.
you know, like the pictures that were made out of shells and all that.
There would be a statue of like a panther or a tiger or something.
Yeah.
Always in the house to go with like the black leather furniture.
That one kimono that would just hang there. And
a
just like, all right, that's just the accent.
a
piece
giant
right
giant fan hanging up on the wall.
there.
With like,
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah,
that,
nah,
like that's such a thing.
but it's always been just a progressional thing where it's like our grandparents, it was just about the house, how you decorate your house, and then of course like that's when the food and the cuisines came over and stuff like that. And, like their kids, it was like the karate flicks and it was like martial arts and like they were just like super into it. Then it was like the later generation. That's when it was like slowly the cartoons that was overhead that people didn't realize that was actually just Japanese anime that was just dubbed over. And then it just full on just hit the generation after that. Just us was
Oh,
like,
now you got everybody. It's always a bunch of dudes with dreads that have dyed and his colors. And it's like, oh, you look exactly like Ichigo right now.
nah, the black goths, they look super like fucking like black nerds and stuff because they be wearing like the medical mask. Walking around here looking like Brian Fury from Tekken 7.
How do you feel about that? Is that like, because I know that, like, is that just, it's basically become a fashion statement now at this point.
But it's common courtesy though, right?
Yeah.
What, medical mask?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we wear it during like flu season. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now I see people just
I
like out
have
with them.
packs of medical masks in my room. Like I have a suitcase, and like half of it is just like medical masks.
And that's for if you get sick, not to get anybody else sick, and then vice versa.
Yeah, I think like for me, it's also for like allergy season.
Got you.
Yeah, like that's why I have so many because I can't live without it during allergy season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But when I'm sick, I'll also do it. I think like when other people are sick, I can't tell because no one is wearing.
Yeah, you just hear 'em- you just hear 'em
no one
sniffling.
else is wearing.
It's a cool look. Like it's just like okay, I'm not feeling well. Now everybody knows it. Now it's a statement because Americans we are kind of just like, no, I'm not sick. No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna down a bottle of NyQuil or
I can work.
whatever.
I can work all day.
I can work.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. I can finish it.
I'm good. I'm good.
But then it's like
like
there's this interesting thing where when you are wearing a medical mask, since like you can't see their like face, you can't actually tell like how unhealthy they look.
Yeah.
So it's also like a sense of, you know, like if I feel like I look like shit,
you can put it,
I can
behind
put
this
it
medical
on,
mask.
and then I like feel more like presentable.
It's a
Who's the
Snapchat
first
filter too, right?
it is a filter now. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a filter now.
They
Yeah,
put like
yeah.
a animal nose and whiskers.
Animal
and
nose,
shit.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there are decorated medical.
I would
I
say
used
the first
to draw
person to do that
on
must
my
have been-
medical mask.
Oh, that's
Must have been-
ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that's yeah.
Like
Damn.
a cast type shit. It's just like whoever like thought of that must have been like, yeah, I'm about to make a buck off this. Because I remember just seeing them, they're all white, and then all of a sudden now they're tie dye and
Yeah,
leopard
black,
printed.
camo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Bait makes some.
Bait make.
I think they
Supreme.
make
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
makes some.
Supreme.
Of
Of
course
course,
Supreme
Supreme.
makes
Of
them.
course,
Yeah,
they make it.
yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
cornballs. They just so that-
Cool kids wear the black ones though. I
Okay.
think that's like the fashionable.
Yeah, well,
thing.
it's just like I'm with it. I'm all about it. This
Wow.
this isn't in the shelves.
Yeah.
I ain't
How,
get this from CVS.
This ain't no discount, right?
But it's hard.
Monogrammed.
because I wear
got my shit.
glasses,
Uh-huh.
and if you have the masks, like it gets
Oh,
steamy.
yeah. Close it up. Yeah.
So then like my glasses get cloudy.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a struggle.
No. How old were you when you moved to the States?
So between the ages like 0 to 6,
Mm-hmm.
I like moved back and forth a lot. Just like a couple months here, a couple months back in Japan, a couple months here, a couple months.
Wow.
So do you feel like you
I
had
just
like
do
time
that. That's
to
a lot.
integrate? Yeah, that's a trek.
Yeah, and I also was in like really random places. Like I was in New York for a little bit, and like really bougie area of New York. But then I was in like Florida, where there were no white people.
Oh.
And
Miami.
I don't even know where in Florida I was. I just like there are pictures from when I was in Florida, and then yeah, I was just like hopping around.
Do you know why?
My mom felt like it.
Okay. I can relate.
Roman.
I can relate to that.
Roman.
Yeah, my mom
yeah.
was very like
Rolling
Free.
Stone.
like
Free,
free
yeah,
spirit
yeah.
kind of person, and she did have like this one ambition that she wanted her child to be like fully bilingual and like fluent in English to a level that no one would ever doubt my like English speaking abilities.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's just mom having a low key flex.
Yeah.
Listen to my daughter.
Well,
Baby
yeah.
girl, stand up.
Yeah.
Hit him with some hello.
But I think she like realized when she like, cause she's also from like bumfuck Japan. So
Okay.
like, and when she was in middle school and high school, college, like they would have to take English, but she had never like interacted with English speaking people in her life. So she was like, why am I doing this? And then when she came to America, she realized like, oh, everybody speaks English. And if you don't speak English, people are really disrespectful to you. Right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
that is true.
That is true.
Yeah, they can't. I get that in Old Navy.
They do the slow speaking thing, or they do the
Yeah.
Or they sing your kid at you.
Mm-hmm.
They speak. I had a kid be like, "Can you take me to the bathroom?" And then like his grandmother aunt was like speaking in Spanish. I'm like, "Okay, I got it."
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
He's like, "Oh, you speak Spanish?" I was like, "No, I know when an adult is telling me to do something." So,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And she was just like, oh, right. Like,
yeah, it is.
this like
That's wild.
it sucks if like you can be like so smart or like have all these skills or whatever, but just because
You can't speak.
you can't
speak the
speak
language, yeah.
like the language, people act like they can treat you like shit, you know? So then my mom was like, yeah, I'm gonna make my daughter be able to fight.
With
Fight
her
back.
words, yeah. Yeah.
Speak your voice.
Whenever she had friends over, she'd be like, "Come in the kitchen, 9. Go ahead, do it. Do that."
do that thing you learned at school today.
No, but so then I like moved back and forth a lot, and then my mom got in a car accident, so we had to be in Japan for like a few years, I think. So that was like, and at that point, actually, I had like forgotten a lot of Japanese because like children's minds are so malleable
Okay. Yeah.
that like it's like whatever is right now is truth.
Yeah.
So then like there isn't a sense of like I need to retain things.
Yeah.
So then my grandparents got really nervous and sad that they wouldn't be able to communicate with their grandchild. And I felt that. So then
God damn.
I did work like really hard throughout my life to maintain like the same level of fluency in Japanese because I was just like, oh, got it,
This is a
It
mini
works
series
both
in the
ways.
making.
I was about to say
I'm
something.
about to make this. We need to.
I was
Yo,
like,
Viz Media.
I was like, this is gonna come off offensive. I was like, this sounds. I've never seen one that sounds like a Miyazaki film.
Is it me? Yeah.
I was like, I've never seen one before.
You've never
Studio
seen
Ghibli
one?
did-
never
seen
watched it.
What?
Nah, because
We got.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we
sit
need
you
to
down
do
some
that.
Princess Mononoke. You ain't.
never,
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
Oh.
Never.
Every kid has seen Spirited Away. What?
never seen.
That's
Look,
so
because that stuff to me, it was just like, all right, it's cool, but like, I don't see nobody fighting. I don't see no shirts ripped off.
Are you kidding?
Princess
Princess
Mononoke
is
was
all
fire.
fighting.
It's just,
Yeah.
I just never. I don't know. It just looked too serious for me. Like the same thing
Howl's
with like
Moving
Akira.
Castle?
None of that stuff.
Akira-
I watched Akira once, and I was like, this is alright. Like, it's,
Akira's chill. Akira definitely. It was like a route for a bunch of other ideas.
Yeah,
and movies.
yeah.
Like it was good, and it's still really good. But you can definitely tell where people took their little chunks and bits and made great movies, like Matrix.
Yeah,
The Matrix.
Like almost most sci-fi like
no,
Yeah.
I can see it because
dystopian
it's that
movies that
cyberpunk
were made
shit.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, that was like
exactly.
the first one that was like really good.
There's a
at it.
GIF I gotta send you of it's the scene in Akira where there's like a motorcycle screech and it's this long panning shot and it looked really cool for the time. And then it shows a bunch of shows that have copied it for the past like 20 years.
Ninja
Batman
Turtles
did it. Ninja Turtles did it.
Yeah.
Teen Titans did it. But just a bunch of cartoons just copied it. Even some live action stuff did that's the scene that
Yeah.
everybody takes from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was lit.
It's.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get you on Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
That's
we have to do
I'll
that.
watch it. I'll watch it eventually. But for me, it was always like, fuck all this talking, man. Like, where the action at?
This emotion, my nigga.
man. Yeah, fuck all
Nah.
this talking.
So you said you didn't watch much too, but in the States, did you ever like sit in front of like Saturday morning cartoons at all, or were you just kind of
No.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
No.
yeah, like the only times I like really watched chunks of TV were when I would go to my friends' houses for like sleepovers,
Okay.
and then we would have like Disney Channel on.
Disney is so universal, man. It's
Yeah.
like I didn't really fuck with it too heavy, but it's like I still watched
So it's like
it.
I've seen random episodes of like That's So Raven and Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
What did you think?
And I was like, yeah, I guess, you know, like this is on right now. But yeah, I mean, we watch like Japanese TV shows.
Okay. Those are always lit because you never know what's going to happen.
To me,
Never
I
know
don't
what's
know
gonna happen.
what the show is sometimes. Where it's a game show, but then there's a musical guest, and then there's it's almost like every show is a variety late night TV show.
Yeah.
And then you're in the middle of a commercial and you don't even know it. Like,
Yeah.
At least from what I've seen on some videos. So that just seems interesting to me. Do you know why they went about doing that, or is that just how you guys roll out there and just?
Well, if you want to know,
This is why you're here.
did you know that my
Need
father
answers.
This isn't going up. We're keeping this
Just
for
for you.
Yes.
study
Yes.
work. This is for school.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Take us to school, please, Miss Kiramoto.
No, how lucky you are that I am here. It's actually interesting because I didn't really know about like the history of Japanese TV either. But then someone wrote a biography about my dad.
Who's your
It
parents?
sounds okay. I don't want to
This
come
anime
off
thinking.
Like
Nah, but
like
it's a-
saying-
Is your dad at the top
Like
of a
an
tower,
asshole.
shadowed out right now? Like what's is he the final boss battle? I don't know.
No.
Your dad's Giovanni.
I'm done. I'm done.
So
No, who is your father? Because now I'm intrigued.
my father. My dad is a comedy writer
Wow.
in Japan.
Nice.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't like really grow up with him around me because he was busy, and like I lived in America and he worked in Japan the whole time,
Okay.
and my mom like was not interested in his work.
Okay.
So I did not grow up seeing his stuff.
Oh shit.
But now as an adult, I talk to like so many like Japanese people, and like when I tell Japanese people that I do comedy, they're always like, "Oh, it's your dad's influence." And I'm like, he did not raise me. Actually, my mom is very funny.
AKA, I don't know that nigga.
That's some black shit right there. That's some,
I don't
no,
know.
I don't know that nigga.
Yeah.
No, I'm my
Actually,
own.
my mom
I'm
is
my own
super
person.
funny.
Now, has your mother? How does your mom feel when you was just like, I kind of do stand up too, like I dabble in comedy as well. How did she
Yeah,
feel?
when she found- yeah.
How did she feel? Because that she was like, no, you're not gonna be like him. No.
That one tear's like my baby.
Why do you think I moved all the way over here?
Well, she was like, I guess it was inevitable.
Damn.
Because here's the thing, you know, like my dad, his profession is writing comedy, but my mom is super funny.
Oh.
Like, yeah. I was like, should I say this on record? I think that in just like saying like whatever, like say 5 sentences, my mom might be funnier than my dad.
Ooh.
That's a mic drop.
So your dad,
Hell yeah, yeah.
your dad,
But
Pops is good on the table, but
and I'm
your
only
mom
saying
can
this
rip her
because
ass
this
off.
is in English, and my dad won't hear this. Like
we gonna put subtitles.
this would break my heart. This would break my dad's heart. But I think yes, my mom is queen of riffing.
Really?
Like I get so mad when I'm hanging out with her because She is so fucking fun. Like, I will cry laughing.
I want to see this. I want to see this.
And like,
See her cracking up dudes at the noodle shop. Just like, yo.
Just start roasting niggas.
Yeah, start roasting
oh my god, my mom can roast the shit out of people.
Oh, man.
She also like will be taking the train together, and she'll just start doing impressions of other people on the train car.
She free in November?
I'm gonna book my mom. But yeah, like my mom is super funny, and I think that my like sense of humor was like very influenced by my mom.
Okay.
But everyone's like, "Oh, it was your dad. It was your dad," and it's also because like my dad wrote a show or was part of writing a show that was in like the 90s, I think.
Okay.
That like every person in Japan who does comedy, like who is between like 28 and 45
Oh.
are like, that show is the reason I do comedy.
Damn.
Ooh.
Damn, Papa Kuramoto.
Yeah. Did he make like
I've never
Japan
seen it.
Seinfeld or like did he make
I've
never
never
seen
seen
it?
So
What if you watch it? You were like mediocre. Show's alright.
Shit, alright.
so
It's alright.
you know, it's like really weird sometimes when I
Pops is
talk
really the boss battle. That's
to
crazy. That's
Japanese
yeah.
people who do comedy who like rave about my dad to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, it's like he raised you more than he raised me.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I ain't even seen his work.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I've never seen this working.
It's like when they said it, like your dad's funny. It's like my dad's funny. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because you think you always think your parents are like just cornballs, or they're just like, oh, they're whatever. But
They lived the
That's-
whole life.
Yeah.
My dad was always sleepy around me.
Oh shit.
yeah, he's tired.
Yeah.
Making these jokes. I'm trying.
That's
I saw
crazy.
him when he woke up to leave for work, and then when he came home from work. And then, like, so, yeah, he was mostly tired. And then when we would go on vacation, like, that is his only time off. So he would, like, try to sleep as much as possible.
Damn. But isn't that? But that's common in like Japanese like family households, right? That like the parents are usually like super busy, one of the two or maybe both of them.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very like job first almost. It was just like your career was like that important.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
Like,
And then
yeah.
when you
work
grew
was
up, you
his
said
life.
you had you practice sword dancing and various other things, which means you basically can like whoop somebody's ass, right? Is that what you
and look good.
Theoretically,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
impose perfectly?
Pose,
If I gotta
land-
go hard
land
on
on
the
it.
bitch, I'm gonna make it look sexy. I pull up, hop out. Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, nah.
So you did that. So you basically that was mainly like childhood. Did you have other projects that you had to do since you weren't? Because Americans, we kind of were just TV raised kids. We sat in front of, watched a bunch of cartoons. Which is why we watched anime, because anime was just cartoons to us.
Yeah.
But that shit had
Well,
blood in it.
okay.
Most and I will say, I mean, it's a stereotype, but it's one of the best one that most Asian households like the kids are doing something. Like y'all
I
like,
was doing-
you guys have got projects.
We have shit to get done. I
Very
think,
efficient.
so my household was strange because like my parents were not like super Asian in that sense. Like they never pushed me or like were intense about things.
Okay.
I was really intense.
Oh.
And then my parents were just like supportive of it and just tried to give me the opportunities to be able to like do what I wanted to do. And it was one of those things. So I knew that I wanted to be a performer like since the moment I was conscious almost.
she came out of her mom's just looking just marvelous and shit. Spirit fingers and all that stuff. Yeah. Just
Well, like the first time
Where's
I was
my
on
light?
stage. No, the first time I was on stage, I was 1.5, and I like decided that was what I wanted my life to be.
Damn.
Would you just like walked onto like a wedding or something like that? Would you just like?
I went to this like weird bougie preschool, and like they all had these performances every year, and it was at like a legit theater. So it wasn't in like an auditorium. It was like I felt how good it feels to be in front of a huge audience in a beautiful space. And like I guess I was slightly competent for a child between 1 to 2 because there are like kids who don't even know they exist yet.
Yeah.
Whereas like
that switch doesn't turn on just yet, and they're just kind of out here.
Yeah.
I like was I guess able to like learn choreography or something. So they let me do.
She's saying you got rhythm. She on 2 and 4.
Yo, she could have been in a Missy Elliott video. Man. Yo.
So
that'd have been lit.
Yeah. So they gave me like a solo.
Lil Nas sea walking. My fault, girl. My fault.
Oh yeah. So like they gave me like a solo, and then I felt the like
that's the moment.
Adrenaline of being on stage with all of the attention in a beautiful theater. It was too early, you know.
That's the moment. I had mine at 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel it, and
it was like a school choir chorus thing, and I had the best diction of all of the kids in my age group, so they let me do the solo, and I was just up there like, oh, I can get used to this. This is it. Like this is how it feels.
I think.
When was your moment?
It was like 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we were doing, but for some reason everybody had to get up and try to be funny. It was something specific though. It was very specific. It was a very specific thing we were doing. It was like language arts class, and so I consciously knew I couldn't repeat all of it, but I just reenacted a scene from South Park when like Carmen had like chicken pox or whatever, and so I just did that in front of everybody. And like one girl pointed out, I was like, "Oh, that's South Park." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up."
Sit your ass down, Shaniqua.
Shut up. But yeah, I just did that, and like people were like getting. I was like, "Man, that was cool."
You're like,
yeah.
Makes sense.
And then
I was never the kid
later.
who was afraid of that. Yeah, like I was never afraid of the class presentation part.
Yeah.
I never did a lot of the work.
Never.
Like group projects, it was always like the 2 smartest kids, I let them do whatever. But when it came time to present, them niggas sweating bullets. They're like, and I'm just like, I got this part. I'll talk to everybody. You guys just do all the stuff that matters. But like, something about presenting in class never really bugged me. Show and tell, and just like,
Oh. After that, I was always nervous for some reason. But
I love presentations. It's my time to shine. I am here. But
people would suck their teeth when I always had to present a project. Like,
God damn,
she bought entire production.
She got a set piece. Okay.
She got 3 dioramas.
Why is there a cameraman here? What the fuck is going on?
Oh my god.
She wheels in that one TV on the scooter.
Oh my god.
Right.
Like I shot a movie.
Damn.
Oh yeah. So then I was like, I want to be a performer. I knew that. So, but like as a kid, you don't know what like you have to do it, like to get there. So I was just like, oh, I'll do anything. I'll do anything that'll get me on a stage, and 2, I'll do anything that seems to be good skills to have as a future performer. So then I like took up piano and violin, and I started doing dance, and I did like
ballet
any
means necessary.
Yes, tap, jazz, hip hop. I like did it all, and I like so what kept me busy because I just like kept trying to fill my schedule.
But
with
you're busy
more things.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, this is lame because my parents are making me do it. It's like, no, I like these activities. But
you're telling your parents like, I need to do jazz.
Yes,
like, you're telling them there's a hip hop class.
I was that kid.
I need to be in it. Yeah. God damn.
I was like, I need these skills because I want to be a performer.
I bet your parents just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, what is this?
Like, we're just chilling.
just hang out, watch. That's why you watch. It's like, yo, I bought this thing for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
I'm tired of paying for this.
You got these goddamn classes. Sit your ass down, watch anime like everybody.
The problem with watching TV is that I'll watch these performers and I'll be like, why am I not doing that?
Oh, damn.
Why isn't that me?
When I got up here, that was a big light that switched for me, where I realized I am consuming more than I'm creating.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting and I'm watching YouTube and I'm watching all this stuff, and I would watch it for hours when I was a teenager, and then I watch it even more as I got older, and I realized I like this stuff, and then after a while it hit me, it's like I can do this stuff. Like, I ain't got time to. Now I only watch maybe a couple like YouTube channels. I'm about to get rid of Netflix because I'm just like, why am I paying?
Netflix
why am I paying?
got played out.
I'm paying $14 for something. Like, the only thing that's keeping me are these new specials that keep popping out, but. I'm like, why am I paying $15 for this? I'm too busy right now to watching it.
They'll get 1 or 2 things every now
so
and
again.
So
see, but that was you at 6, so now I'm pissed off. I'm just like,
You're like, I could have been doing this the whole time.
She was ahead of the game. She was
like, wild overachiever.
Yeah. I mean, I did like then meander, you know, like I went through a phase where I was convinced that I would not be able to perform, even though I was doing all of these things.
So you were thinking that I might not be able to do it, so I need to do it now. I need to try to practice, do everything that I can do to make sure I can do it.
No, it was like, you know, I was like one of the very few Asian kids like in my predominantly white areas that I grew up, and I realized like really quickly that white people get what they want, and I am not one of them.
So you was woke as a child?
I was just like, and then okay, going back to my dad, he also like suggested to me that like I was too ugly to be like a performer, you know?
I don't want you to get hurt, baby.
Exactly.
I don't want you to be hurt.
Yeah. That was like a lot
you
of it.
You got farm hands. You don't got show hands, baby.
Yeah. Where he would be like, you know, like if you want to be a performer, you need to be people, like you need to be someone that people want to look at, and like.
What age did he say this?
Like 6.
Damn.
Like I just remember this as an idea of my entire life, you know.
Yeah. That's
it
nuts.
And I'm not gonna tell my story.
Well, the thing was, we can. We in a safe space.
Yeah.
We in your basement.
It's like apples and oranges.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with aesthetics. It was all race.
Everybody had their
absolutely.
Their thing.
It was.
But they had the hiccups.
I just started middle school, so people talking about like other sports and shit for like high school. This dude brings up swimming. I was like, oh, like that'd be cool. I might do that. And then the dude, he just. This is how the South racism gets kind of weird. he was just like last time they had a black guy on the team, they ain't do so well.
Whoa!
This is a 6th grader telling this in my face.
Yeah.
And as a kid, the way I'm processing this, I'm like, I don't even think you understand what the fuck you just said.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
You know? That's the thing about kids. Like
you just spitting facts, but you just like that was wild, fucked up. Yeah.
They just say shit that they hear and they repeat it, and they don't know why they're saying it, but they perpetuate it, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's probably the coach probably has some hurt feelings about the season or whatever, and because you know he's he's teaching middle school. He thought he was gonna go to the Olympics. He ain't doing shit. Right, so now he sees Jamarcus out here trying his best. Trying his best. It's the 90s, right? Yeah.
Nah, this was like early 2000s middle school.
Okay.
It was middle school.
Trey. Then how about that? Trey better.
Jamarcus is fine.
Jamarcus was fine. I know it's like it sounds stereotypical, but I know 2 Jamarcuses. So I'm not too far out of my element. But now you see this black kid out here trying something, and he's stuck in his way, and he's like, whatever. So then that kid probably heard from the coach, and then that kid told the other kid, and they just parroting it. But yeah, it was some low key like, they just don't want you to do whatever because of.
It's whatever, baby. That's fine. I would have won, but it's fine. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Like, I would have been a swimming star.
Also too.
They love black boys. They don't love black boys.
I wasn't trying to cut off my afro either. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, swimming. It's just like
they were like you got to be aerodynamic.
Yeah,
and shit
they say it was like you shave your whole body, it shaves off like 0.2 seconds off sometimes. So it's like,
it would be really amazing if a swimmer with an afro
beat all the odds.
got really fast.
He just got weighted clothing on. He's just basically just
like that is true speed, you know.
What it is like they tell me, it's like, look, if you don't do something about your hair, you're off the team. And then I come back with box braids.
Say something now. Give me that wave cap.
Nah, I come in. I was like, I don't even need that. I just put a durag on, leave the flat hanging. You know?
Get a latex
like, it
durag.
actually makes the water.
Yo, that should be an anime. How about that? That'll be the first Negro Jump Productions anime. Where
There
it's
you
like
go.
the black character that joins the white swim team,
Mm.
and his special. It's like the anime eye shield.
Yeah,
He just had like a visor like on it under his helmet. Well, this dude he just has like a water dynamic. That shit flows and stuff. Like it's like a whole breakdown how it kicks up and then like passes the water and so it doesn't touch his neck and stuff. Hey, Funimation, holla at me.
Yo.
That's it.
Yeah,
Funimation,
We got
Toei, Viz, Aniplex.
Amniplex.
Come on.
Studio Ghibli. We'll do it all.
Come on,
we don't
man.
care. We don't care.
I know all of y'all. Come
Yeah.
on.
Give us
Don't
that
make me
check.
harass you. Put me in the writing rooms, man. Like, let's go.
That is nuts. So you did partial school in America, partial school in
Japan, yeah.
Japan, or were you like, was it home deal or was it all public or like was it?
I went to public elementary school. I went to half public middle school. It was a public school, but you got in by lottery.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then I moved back to Japan. So I was there for 6th and 7th grade. And then moved back to Japan. And I did 7th, like the rest of 7th, 8th, and 9th grade in Japan. And that was a private school. In Japan, public education is only mandatory until middle school. So all high schools are technically private.
So you can just dip and do work stuff, or do you?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
wow.
go to trade school. You can go to, and
That's
then,
really
most
smart.
people go
Yeah,
to high
that's-
school.
That's actually really smart. Because
Yeah.
middle school, that's when it's just like, all right, you're good enough to kind of understand stuff. So it's like, do you want to immediately just learn about this thing that catches your eye? Because if I would have gotten to like just straight up construction or whatever straight after middle school, I probably would have been fine.
Yeah, like welding. Do you
Yeah.
freaking weld?
Construction
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
culinary or some shit like that, yeah, I would have been perfectly fine versus high school where it's just like all that pressure just builds up. People saying you're
Yeah.
going to college. I'm like,
So
well,
there's
Yeah,
like
what's
more
your- what's your path
specialized
or
high
whatever, like,
schools or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's actually really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I went to a private high school there, and then I moved back to America for sophomore, junior, and senior year. And that was a private boarding school, half boarding school.
Is this New York or Seattle?
This was in Bay Area, San
Bay
Francisco.
Area, San Francisco. Okay.
Silicon Valley.
There you go.
Yeah. So it
Tech
is
guru
like
status.
a lot of like different environments, different kinds of people.
Yeah, I
for
heard the
sure.
Bay Area is really rich and
Oh my
culture and
gosh.
races
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, talking to Idris, he was just like, yeah, it was like just mad. He said the Filipinos were the Puerto Ricans out there. pretty,
Yeah.
pretty
I
much.
mean,
yeah.
I was like in such a bubble of an area, like everyone was super woke and super rich. And, like,
wow.
but then there was like 2 black people at my high school. You know what I mean? And
So
yeah.
it was just you and them. It was you and them surrounding you, asking you questions. Hey, what's the?
But it was like, yeah. And then like bizarre because there were like a lot of Asians at my school, but like most of them were super rich because they were like the super rich Asians that
Crazy
were
rich.
there.
What was your thoughts on
I
crazy
wanted
rich
to
Asians?
crazy
I
rich
wanted to
Asians.
say it.
All right.
That's why I looked at it.
Nons, hot take on crazy rich Asians in 3, 2, 1.
That's why I looked at it. I was just like, were they just rich?
Were they
Asians?
just rich Asians? Or were they,
Or like crazy.
were they crazy rich?
There were some
I'm not
crazy
gonna say
rich
it.
Asians.
Yeah, nah.
But yeah, so I was like, you're fucking 17 and you're driving a Tesla. Like,
Damn.
that's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's hilarious? Like, I look, sometimes people from my high school like pop up and they've become like, there was one kid who was like super rich family, like super classic, like star white kid at a high school, whatever. And now he like is like a yogi guru in the mountains with like long dreadlocks with like a
Damn.
That's hit me. I realized that like when white people have like just almost endless amount of income, or just like they're so comfortable they kind of go poor on purpose.
Yeah, and it's just like
See
so
what
Them niggas become hermits
appalling.
on
You're
purpose,
just like,
and you're like,
"Ugh."
why you have a you doing farm work now? So you train hop. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, so you couldn't take that.
You want to do labor?
You want to do?
Yeah.
Alright.
You know how many kids from my fucking high school are like free-spirited travelers now, and I'm like,
they live at Burning
fuck
Man.
you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
Niggas went to Firefest.
God
No, they're
damn.
too woke for.
They're too old for
Firefest,
Fire.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
went to the
worst
aftermath
people.
on purpose to be.
Yeah.
I want to be with the dirt.
Like it was so. Yeah, high school was so weird for me because, like, I was friends with the dormers. Because I was also a dormer, and like we were all Asians. We like stuck together, but and you know, I have like 4 friends that I'm still friends with. But like everyone else, I'm like, I forget you existed.
Damn.
You
I
do
can-
that though.
They were just a
until-
sea of white,
Yeah.
sea of rich white.
The white sea.
The white sea.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rich white
Survive
sea.
the white sea.
And I think about how like, you know, like insecure or not enough they made me feel when I was like a part of it.
Oh, when you were like in high school.
When I was like in it,
Yeah.
you know, like, would you believe if I told you that I got in trouble in my APUSH class because I did not talk enough
Your English class?
in my AP US history class because I didn't participate or talk? Knowing me now,
That's yeah. You weren't slinging bits and nothing. You were just.
I just never talked in like class.
Because you just didn't fuck with any of the people there?
No, I like I was like I felt dumb a lot, and like that my opinions or my thoughts didn't matter because, you know, like rich white people have a way of talking
down
that make it feel like
normal,
they
but
know
down to you.
everything and that everything they think and feel is right.
Yeah.
And like I was basically surrounded by like mostly them.
I've started coming up with defense mechanisms for that because it'll happen. You'll be around those clearly tech bro dudes because they're all over New York. They're just like, oh, I went to school at a nice place in either New York or like or California, and now I work for some tech startup, and I walk around in my blazer or whatever, and it's like, dude, it's too hot for that. But they have this way of almost talking down but at you at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's like, and now,
What's
know.
the example? Because I'm kind of lost. I'm ignorant when it comes to racism and stuff. I kind of like, all right.
well,
this is
I'll say
stupid.
because I've met one of my roomies. Like she works for one of these. Like she works for like a music label. Like she doesn't do anything with the artists, but she basically works for one of the companies. And so she has these little socials and things she goes to. And so occasionally they'll come over to the house, and I'm just immediately it sounds like white noise when they talk. So I'm just like, did you hear about?
like when we were,
that's actually very benign. That's not. And I'm like, shut up.
When
Just
we were,
shut up.
When
You're
we
saying
were
nothing.
when we were eating that one time,
Huh?
when we were eating that one time in the city.
At the noodle spot? Or?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the girl was it was a black woman, but she was like putting on a white voice.
She's doing
'Cause
heavy
she-
Stacy.
'cause
Like
she
a
was-
very, very heavy Stacy.
Because she was
Yeah.
talking to like I guess she was on a date with a white guy, and like I just kept like I was trying to block it out talking to him, but then once the conversation stopped, I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like racism is still there, but in these very rich and almost seemingly liberal pockets, they hide it better, or it's just more.
Yeah.
It's just more arrogance than anything else.
Yes, it's way more like it's not. At that point, it's like they don't even know that they're doing that. It's not racism because they're doing it to each other too. It's not like they're all ganging up against me and being like I'm great and powerful, but it's just like they will like it can be about nothing, but it's like they would talk about in class like their opinion on like a book, right? And they could be saying the dumbest shit, but they say it with so much confidence.
Yeah.
And
Look at it this way. Hipsters, think about like hipsters at the record stores talking about artist that the other person hasn't heard of yet. Like you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, oh you haven't? Oh you haven't? you Oh, so you're saying you haven't listened to Mudboy? You're saying you don't know?
Yeah.
Them dudes.
Exactly.
Oh, that happened when Kendrick Lamar Damn came out. First of all, any white person that says they love Damn, y'all are retarded. Y'all it makes no. How do you love something so much
that flew over your head
that this man is like, I don't like y'all. I don't like y'all.
Yeah.
Sold out arenas.
Yeah.
Just yelling at him was just like, I don't like y'all. Any of y'all on purpose brought a white girl on stage. She said nigga. It was like, oh, cut the music. You can't say that. Just made an example of it. But I remember just when it came out, of course, social media, everybody was just like, yo, this is the greatest thing. Like, this is so dope. Like, he did it again. And I literally had like 3 white people come in my face. No offense to them, but I was just like, God damn it, man. Wish I should shut the fuck up about the album. So where I just did not listen to it up until
a little over a year ago, right?
Nah, like a month ago. Well, I finally listened to it because when it came out, I listened to it once. I was like, I can't get these opinions out of my head. Yeah. Like the people's others' opinions, like it just clouds it, and I was like, I gotta walk away from this for a minute, and then I'll go to it. So I might be doing that with Miyazaki films. Was like people won't shut the fuck up about it.
Well, because when Spirited Away came out in like 2000, that was like the big one. Because all the rest of them before then, they were popular, but Spirited Away, I remember seeing it in theaters, and it was like a big theatrical release. It was it borderline like a Disney movie when it came out. Like it was just like everybody was, and that's when a lot of kids our age who are now like adults found out about it. Yeah, Miyazaki films.
Oh my god!
Because I remember, I remember it was a lot of kids I knew were like, right? They were like, oh, I watched Kiki's Delivery Service. I was like, that's anime. Like that's anime. It's like that's exactly the same thing Spirited Away was. And like, oh, okay, I guess I did watch anime. I'm like, yo, see, it's been here. Like,
and you know what? It's so annoying about white people talking about Spirited Away.
Let them know, sister. Let them know,
Speak your truth.
They act like they discovered it.
Tell them something.
And they act like they discovered like the philosophies and like the spiritualness that are in Miyazaki films when they talk to me. And it just makes me feel so awkward because I'm like, well, you know, a lot of Miyazaki films, like his stories and ideas are very based in like you know, Shinto Buddhism or like Japanese culture, and like the ideas that are in there are like reflections of like being a good like Japanese person, you know? So it's like they aren't revolution.
It's not that deep.
No, they are. They're beautiful. But when a white person talks to me like they really extracted that from the movie.
Yeah. It's like, of course, that's what it's about.
Exactly. It's what it's about.
That's what it's about. So you saying you did what a normal person should? You learned something? Like, don't feel like you took this journey. It's like they're basically Christopher Columbusing like something that's it's been here. Like we know
it's been here.
It's been there.
Yes. And they're like,
hell,
so
with that's the same thing with twerking, with anything you can think of.
2013, 14 was the absolute worst when Miley Cyrus started twerking.
Yo.
Oh my God. So it was just like, it's the greatest thing ever. I'm like, nigga, the twerk team has been a thing since I was in high school.
They used to spell it with a U, my nigga. Like, it used to be twerk. Like, it used to be yin yang whistle while you twerk.
Oh my God. It was just so many.
Tip drill.
Just no ass having women just throwing their back out and shit. Just hurting themselves trying to fucking twerk. All these twerk clap. So many people was just cashing out. It's like, yeah, these white women really want to twerk. So like, we're going to. That was the first time we capitalized on some shit before it being popular.
Flips it on. Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
No. That has always gotten to me. Where especially even for someone who is, I wouldn't say I like appropriated the the love of anime or that culture, because it was kind of just brought up in that thing. But as someone who's absorbing it as a secondhand person, I still know that these people thought of this generations before I did, and I'm just paying homage to it. I'm not really like, I'm not gonna act like I know more. It's because the feeling on the inside, and write a 10-page blog about this shit. I'm a fan. That's it. I'm a fan.
We just talk shit about it, or like
riff on it. That's the thing. We put a little spin on it.
The most I ever had happen. I told this one dude I work with. This was like a couple years ago. I was in Atlanta. I told him, I was like, yeah, I watch Dragon Ball Z. He was like, I bet you don't know more than me. I was just like, all right, whatever. I play this game. He's like, sure. How many Cell Juniors did Gohan kill during the Cell games?
It's not a competition.
I'm like, maybe 4, but that's just what niggas do. Like, we just talk shit. And I was like 4. He was like, no, I was 6 because they miscounted. It was a bad editing. I was just like, all right, man, whatever. This guy also sold cocaine, so it was hashtag anime niggas.
Hashtag, as I said, when they bagging up, they are watching something. They have to keep their mind occupied.
Oh shit, nigga, they doing a command man. Turn that shit up. Yeah, the button joke for Dragon Ball Z usually is always just like, especially during the Cell games, like, yeah, that shit took 3 episodes to end for one attack. And like, we watch every second of that shit.
Every second.
My brother would riff on it. We was just like, yeah, it's always like, next time on Dragon Ball Z. Tonight on Dragon Ball Z. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Just the constant, power.
Yeah.
8 episodes for 5 minutes to blow up a planet. Like this. But that's how you make a cookie stretch. You know what I mean? That's how you like
watch every second of that shit too.
Yeah.
And appreciate it. Yeah.
It's a trip. Did you one thing I've noticed about, especially in Japan,
after you I have a question.
Mascot stuff. How, like, it just seems like it's like, granted, we have Coca-Cola, Michael Jordan, whatever the thing is, but everywhere I see like Hello Kitty's a thing. And then Goku is the
he was in the Thanksgiving Day parade.
He's the Thanksgiving Day parade, and he's like supposedly the mascot for the Olympics in Japan or some shit like that. So like, how was that? Did you ever have a barrage of that, or was there anything you clung to as a kid that was like, oh, I loved Hello Kitty, or I loved or something that we don't even know about because it's some like low key Japan shit?
Mascot in terms of mascot, or like,
or just like characters,
I guess
popular
character, just a popular character.
Yeah, because you guys have that on lock. I think other than most countries, it's just most of the things that you see slapped on kids' backpacks, like, oh, that's a Japanese character.
Oh, what would be an example here? Like a Mickey Mouse or something?
Well, like for us, it's Mickey Mouse, but like, I mean, hell, even during that era, Hello Kitty blew up. There's a big one, and not Pop, but it's another like version of that, but it's like Japanese centric. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's just kind of popping over where they take their spin or put a bunch of other things on our products and then just sell their own stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have had like a good relationship with Sanrio stuff, like
Sanrio.
that's the company that owns Hello Kitty.
Oh, okay.
Like they have other.
Oh, Pusheen.
That's
the one. Like,
yeah.
Pusheen is probably the cats, the little fat cats
like
that
do
stickers. Little Facebook stickers. Like those are like Japanese shit. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Sorry, I hang around too many white women.
I mean, I'm sorry. I got excited when I found out they had the Power Ranger stickers on. Anybody's messaged me over Facebook. You've gotten the Red Ranger thumbs up. Yeah. You've gotten multiple ones of those. Yeah, all the time.
So yeah, I liked Sanrio stuff growing up. I was like a little, like, I'm edgy. I don't like mainstream things, so I wasn't like a super Hello Kitty person, but I liked like Batsumaru, like the penguin. I liked Cinema Roll, the bunny with the big ears.
Oh, these were the other characters.
The other characters of Sanrio.
Oh, okay.
Right now, Gudetama is really hot. It's the egg.
Oh yeah, the egg. The egg with the little feet, or the crack, or just the egg with the yolk.
Oh, there was a Digimon like that. That's ill. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was like married after something. Yeah, he was evil too. He was he enslaved 2 of them because he just like, oh, you can't pay, well you can work here. And then he just kept breaking dishes. He was like, you're just gonna keep working for me forever. Like, and then he just fought him at the end of the episode.
These cats.
Yeah, it was that shit was dope. Yeah.
So yeah, I like that, all of that. Yeah, and then. In terms of like characters that I really identify, so there's an anime called Chibi Maruko-chan.
Okay.
Chibi Maruko-chan.
Look in the camera and say that.
Chibi Maruko-chan. It's written. Chibi
Just know there will be sparkle effects around your face.
Oh my god! Your eyes gonna pop out and shit.
Written by this manga artist named Momoko Sakura.
Okay.
Sakura Momoko. And she is like probably the most influential writer of my life, like to me.
Okay.
Like in terms of like writing style and like the idea that writing can be funny. But so Chibi Maruko-chan was like her most famous piece. By the way, she passed away last summer.
R.I.P.
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 I was really distraught. I was really distraught.
What did the character look like?
It's like a girl with. She kind of has hair like me.
Okay.
She has like the bangs and the
Okay.
bowl cut.
Okay. All right.
You kind of know. Okay, so she had this other more not mainstream manga series called Koji Koji.
Mm-hmm.
Koji Koji.
All right.
And that one, okay, I'll show you a picture.
All right. Okay.
Because I can't really describe it.
All right. Okay. This is dope.
Was my favorite.
How you say it again? Koji Koji?
Koji.
Koji Koji.
Koji.
So you were like the person who liked the deep cuts of the artist, not the hits.
You didn't
You didn't check side B, did you? Yeah.
You wasn't always for like what was there first. You was like all this other stuff. Oh, that's okay. It's like a.
I thought it was a taco man for a minute. Because I saw maracas and it looked like a taco.
Yeah.
Taco.
Oh, now we're going to throw it up. We're going to throw the image up.
Yeah, we're gonna throw it up.
In the final cut. Yeah.
But I also wanted to do it. You know?
Yeah. Nah. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Koji Koji
Mm-hmm.
was like
my
thing.
a strawberry.
But like, okay, so it looks really cute and like childish and very fantastical, and all of its friends are like, you know, like he's the Sun King, and he's like
that looks
bird
like
and a fish, and like
is this only a manga or like a book?
There was an anime.
Okay.
It was short-lived. But so it looks really like fantastical and cutesy and like children-y, but it's like really absurd and surreal.
That reminded me of
and they go to some like dark places.
Yeah, like did you ever watch? They released it on Adult Swim, and I became a really big fan. Crayon Shin Chan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if it was ever that vulgar in Japan, but when they released it
Crayon
to
Shin Chan
America,
was more vulgar.
Was it? Oh shit! Yeah, I got 3 clips. I watched. Years ago, it was on Netflix, the entire series, and I watched it, and I loved it. I watched it on Adult Swim, but yeah, it was like a Japanese South Park show, almost. Like it revolved around this kid and his family, but they were all a little goofy, a little off. There was a superhero that he loved on TV, Action Bastard. Yeah, Action Bastard. And he would always show his ass. He'd like pull his pants down and draw an elephant on his dick.
Was that a parody of like Kamen Rider and shit? Action Bastard?
Yeah. I mean, a parody of like Ultraman and like all.
The posing and all that stuff. Got you.
Oh my gosh! But you know, have you seen like the Shin Chan movies?
I think I saw one. I saw one particular.
They're so good.
Really?
Like they are like
pure
jerking, like emotional rides. Like it's so crazy how like the show can be like really vulgar and like silly and like stupid almost, and then like the movies are really intense and emotional. Like there's one. Did you see the one? Is the one that you saw the one where there's like adults like they like make like a Disneyland for adults.
I don't know if that one's ringing a bell. I do know there's. I don't know if it was an episode or in a movie where there was a heavy. There was a scene where they're kind of going over like the turmoils of their marriage as like almost on some like, oh, we might get divorced type shit. And it was a weird turn for the show or the episode where it's like, I don't know what part that was, but I remember I was like, damn, that's deep. Like this dude was Like they were just talking about bullshit earlier. She was at the shop and like stealing, and then there's a scene where they're just kind of going at it, like having a deep conversation. And then Shin Chan just pulls up and starts messing with the baby of the dog, and it's like, oh, it's over. I'm like, that's.
And you're like, that happened.
Yeah. It's like, where'd that moment go? And it is kind of like some life shit where it's just like, oh, we might fall apart, but then our kid walks in. It's like, well, all right, let's do this now. And I'm like, damn, that's.
See, that stuff always goes over my head most of the time. Like I usually don't catch it. I'm just like, nah, I'm just like into it.
But that's why you should watch the movie because like
I might have to,
have so much heart. The I don't know what the American name would be, but the Otona Teikoku one, the one I was just describing, was so good. Where it's like,
the look on his face. But it's like, God damn, that was a mouthful. But now, what character? What is this you talking about right now?
Synopsis?
Nah, the
Are we still talking? We're still talking about Shin Chan.
Yeah,
okay.
Or are we gonna talk about Koji Koji now? No, let me just finish this.
Just finish it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your show, but I just it just reminded me of that because I fuck with
so
that shit.
the Shin Chan movie that I'm talking about right now is like there's a new theme park that's like for adults, but like they can relive their like childhood nostalgia, and there's like all these like areas where you can like dress up as a princess or like a hero or whatever, and then it starts and all these adults start getting addicted to like this feeling of being a child again and like wanting to leave their responsibilities as an adult. And then these kindergarteners have to save their parents from becoming
and the little
snot-nosed
kid pulls up.
And it's so
that's about to happen with these cosplayers when they had kids, man. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but this
Dad,
came
stop.
out in like
Stop dressing up as Link. You're not him. You're not. Stop, Dad.
yeah.
There's always construction paper everywhere. Plaster molds.
Mom left us. You know why? Because of the damn Triforce. Okay.
Yeah, and it was like it was really real reflection on like more and more adults are like refusing to quote grow up.
Yeah. The adults and shit.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, and it's really intense.
Wow.
But then it's like.
But see, that's why I fuck with. That's why I fuck with like anything Japan, because it's like they will. As far as entertainment was like the
it'll be fun, and then it'll get real on you.
Yeah, the shit that you be like, you watch this, I'm like, yes, because there's a deeper meaning behind this right now. Mm-hmm. The newest common writer right now that just came out that started off the please help me out with this, the Reiwa era?
Reiwa. Mm-hmm.
Reiwa era?
Reiwa.
Reiwa?
Reiwa. Mm-hmm.
Reiwa? the Reiwa era?
Mm-hmm.
So, each common writer, the character has like some quirk or something about him or whatever. This guy's a comedian. He wants to be a comedian, and it's at like a theme park where they have a segment in there where it's like there's a live performance, and he goes, when they show him go up, he just bombs, and then like the guy that like produces the show is like, we can't have you here again. Then some shit happens. He finds out he's the heir to like some company, and then now he's a common writer. He saves the park, and then the owner of the park sees it, and he like gives a wink at the end of the episode and stuff. But he's like, nah, I want to be able to make everybody laugh. Like that's his thing. I was just like, I'm in it.
I have no idea.
Yeah, the newest one. It was It's
when did it start?
I think it no, it didn't, because they're on episode 3 right now.
Okay.
So, but it just got started like this month. Yeah, but I was surprised. I was like, wow, comedian, because most of them is like a drifter or a detective, multiple detectives. I think the more fun one was like a guy that just transferred to a school. He's like, I'm gonna make friends with everybody here, and then that was his thing. that was just his thing. He gave him a handshake.
Comedy's been thrown in a little bit of everything.
Yeah, like, it's dope.
Everybody's subplots like, it's a stand-up comic. The new It movie came out, and it's like this is the second chapter, so they're all grown up. The guy who plays Eddie, who's the funny guy in the originals, and like he's actually like a talk show personality in the 90s one. In this one, he's like just a straight up stand up comedian. And like when they introduce him, it's like, welcome to the stage, Eddie, and like what's his name?
Pennywise?
Bill Hader.
Oh.
Bill Hader plays him, and
okay.
he walks on stage like it's a special on Netflix. It's crazy, and he's they definitely let him rip in the movie because he's funny as shit. Like it's got a lot of funny pockets, but I feel like it's like they're putting that whole stand-up comedy is a normal lifestyle pattern. It's like, no, the fuck, it's not.
It's not. It's not. I'm low-key hating it, but then also it's just you let people just try it and they see like, oh, this is terrible. This is like, why would anybody do this?
Why'd you put yourself through this?
Yeah, it's not smart unless you just you really like.
I was on stage once and everybody loved me.
It's
and then
I gotta
nowadays now.
I can't escape it. No.
But now I really see now now is the time to see like if you're really doing it for it because you love it, it's a passion, or because you just want to be famous.
You can make money off if you about the business and you trying to like jump in. There's a stream for you, which I dig.
I can see people get burned out and they be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Well, it's like it's short bursts, but like now you can do it all yourself. You really don't need the industry.
Yeah,
you can just do it yourself, put it out there.
Do it yourself until they fuck with you. I mean, we in a basement right now.
Yeah, people are so impressed. They're just like, "Oh, that looks cool." I'm like, "Yeah, shout out to."
But these lights that my roommate has that they let me borrow. Like,
shout out,
we out here.
All of this stuff I just collected over the years. Yeah, I'm
this ain't new.
This trash. Yeah.
No, that's true.
Shonen Jump. That was 7th grade, nigga. What? Come on. That PS suit. That's an original from like 2003.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just dusty.
I mean, that's true. Like, my bedroom looks like this, you know? Like, I have lights and I have, like...
you make use of it. My brother's room is a studio, is an art studio with a bed in it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hell, this is half your brother's art studio. The other side is a beautiful painting on the other side. We'll show you later.
I was really curious. I want to see the other side.
Brother's a dope artist. So it's like, we just do your art, do your thing, and do it to the best you can, and then just if people fuck with you, they fuck with you.
That's it, maybe. Yeah. That's it. And I fucking... Oh, man. Any closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts?
This was fun. I wasn't sure. I
didn't
know what to
proper
expect.
Because
it's so vague. We don't really put a description in there, and it's like it's kind of.
You didn't even tell me where to come, where to be.
I didn't. I completely forgot. I was like, I forgot to even check in to be like, you still coming? I was like, all right, she's coming. He's like, wait, where the fuck am I heading to?
I know.
Yeah, man.
No, it's the whole thing is that we basically. We're all performers, and we sometimes have non-comics on, but we all have a presence, and we just we'll ask questions, we'll hang out. We all liked weird shit or just interesting stuff, pop culture, and then just rock with the combo until an hour's gone.
The focus is fucking nerdy ass black guys.
Nerdy ass black dudes.
That's the focus.
But you wouldn't know it by looking at us or just seeing us in our normal day to day.
I dress cool until you see like me. I hide a lot of my graphic tees with flannels. So it's like unless you're really looking at my shirt.
When dude caught you, we were doing promo pics at the park, and all of a sudden just a black dude just beeline to you. He was like, that shirt.
Yeah, he was like, hey, you know what? I know what the fuck this shirt is, man. Be low, man. We in public right now. Be low. We can't let them see any type of weakness, bro.
Just defenses up.
Yeah, we can't. We can't. Yeah, no. That's why I haven't worn my Power Ranger t-shirt in a while. That's what I wanted to ask you. I forgot. Have you ever watched like American Power Rangers? This is my one black nerd question. I'm gonna leave you alone forever after this. You watched, so you know the difference between Super Sentai and like regular Power Rangers. Yeah.
I know that there is an American Power Rangers.
Okay. You ever watched it?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you don't have.
We'll have another Japanese person on, and I'll get my question answered. Yeah.
Part 2.
Next time.
Next time on Negro Jump. No. Before you go though, plug all your social media, all your things.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what projects you work on, shows, all that.
All right. Yeah. I am on Instagram at Nyanchate. That is spelled NYANCHATTE. And Twitter is none of your business. But it's NON. None of your business. Hey.
Let them know. Let them know. And then you still doing the monthly, right?
Well, okay, so right now, Nonsense is on hiatus.
Okay.
Because we're trying to find a new location.
I do love the overall feel and concept of it. Thank you. Really dope.
I really enjoy that show. I really like it, though.
Because it's fun, because it's stand-up. Like, you tell us, you just like, yo, you don't have to do stand up on the thing. You can just do your jokes, and then afterwards it's just so open discussion.
We just hang.
That's it. We just hang, you record it, and we just sit and chit chat.
Yeah,
it's
it's a good time.
Yeah.
So I really like it. So I am determined to continue it. Trying to find location. So yeah, and then I'm doing a solo show.
Oh, yeah. What?
What? At Pitt's Solo Com.
Oh shit.
Their solo show festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, 45 minutes of me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
She gonna whip out the sword.
I'm learning how to write music right now.
What? Oh, she about to.
There's gonna be.
Oh, you about to do your one woman show? You about to roll it out?
Roll it out.
Hell yeah.
Everything you've learned to unlock. She opens the 7th gate.
It's a montage of her just like playing the piano and then like the viola and shit.
No, violin.
Oh, my fault. Excuse me. There is a difference. My fault.
Get it right. Violas don't know shit about whatever. There's always some like back-ended. But
No, it'll be a slice of the things that I do, but I'm excited about it. I'm kind of scared.
You're gonna have to peep that
because it's like, it's a new attempt. I'm trying something new.
Yeah.
I cornered myself into stretching different new creative muscles that I've been wanting to play with but hadn't had the opportunity to. And yeah, I think there's some earnest shit in it, and I don't do earnest a lot.
Yeah.
So
when is that?
it'll be interesting. November 23rd.
Bad.
Yeah, so
All right, we're gonna pull up. It's gonna be like 6 niggas deep. We just gonna be like
I hope
front
so.
row, like yo.
Like
Yeah.
what they call that Non Kuramoto. Yeah.
I would love that.
I'm trying to remember one of the words you say, but I can't remember right now. Yeah.
The words.
Ray, what era for life?
Life of the current emperor.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all right.
Shit.
This has been Negro Jump.
Negro Jump.
Thank you so much, Nan.
Thanks, Lon.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me.
Yeah.
I hope this is enjoyable for other people too.
I want you to do a sign off
What you do, son?
of you saying Negro Jump. I was like, I'm not gonna do that to you.
Okay, I was
You
really
go
nervous
dude,
about that.
But you want to have
But he wants you to.
non-black people on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, no.
No. You're the first. Actually, yeah, you're the first.
You're the first 9.
You're the first non. Yeah.
You're the first non-black person, but you're the second woman.
Okay.
We're definitely. Now we're just like we need to shake it up.
You're expanding.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is, but this one we had to do.
Yeah. No,
There's no getting
I'm really
around it.
grateful that you picked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
honored.
So, and I'm
I've
apologize.
learned a lot. I've been taking notes. This is all.
I'm gonna go ahead and apologize ahead of time for any of the flood of black nerds that just hit you in your DMs and ask you random questions.
Just follow me on Instagram. Just add to my follower account.
Oh, that
and
ain't
I
gonna
won't
help.
Complain.
It's just they coming.
They
They're on
come.
the way.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we just got a TikTok account.
Yeah, we just-
It's a wrap. It's over. They
I
soon
would be
come.
disappointed if
Oh
I
my
didn't
God.
get
Winter of Non.
It's
It's
Oh
coming.
man, they gonna
It's coming.
like the diehard. They gonna change their language, the iPhone language to Japanese, and type you some nonsense. All right. But for real, I've been Durag. This has been Cordero. This has been Non Kuramoto. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Follow all the social medias: Instagram, Twitter. We on TikTok, baby. We got YouTube videos. We got like 20-some YouTube videos. Like,
Yeah.
Whoa.
look, we're just stacking up content, baby.
Stacking
So
up, putting it out on all platforms.
yeah, you get surprised when you're on Twitter. I'm trying to be active on that. I try to just get just really high and just say just really dumb shit, but it doesn't really come out too much when I try to force it. So hey, look, just hold on. Meg the Stallion, come through East New York. It'll be lit.
We're gonna get you.
Wear your Todoroki cosplay.
Michael B. Jordan, you up, dog?
Yeah, you up next.
You up next.
We coming for you. All right. This has been Negro Jump.